Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Fortress Comic News, episode 421. I am one of your hosts, Chris, alongside my co-host here, Mike. How we doing, Mike?
Doing all right. Just all right. We have an amazing episode. Great interview. All the interviews are great, but this one, talking to Cavan Scott today, we haven't talked to him in quite some time. If you go back to episode 75, I could listen to him talk all day. Sometimes we get these interviews and we're like, oh shit, an hour's gone by. Okay, we got to stop wasting this guy's time. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, he doesn't want to sit here and talk to us this long. We could sit here and talk to us this long. Yeah, writer of Star Wars High Republic stuff. His origins with writing some Doctor Who. He's written Pacific Rim comic books. He's written at Marvel. He's done some stuff. Yeah, he's going to be doing the Gwenpool book, so it's really cool. Chris and I read a Gwenpool book, so that was something. Yeah,
and liked it.
Yeah, I liked it. I liked it a lot. I thought it was a lot of fun. So,
in all honesty, I mean, we made fun of it at the time when it was announced, but or at least I did. But yeah, liked it, and we didn't talk about it in the interview, but I will recommend anybody out there. He did a Dark Horse book called The Ward that I talked about at the time.
Yes,
really fun medical drama, but set in a fantasy setting.
Yeah,
awesome, like clash of genres, man.
He's
awesome.
He's a great writer, great dude, great guy. And now I need to go read Banana Man comics. Is all I know.
Yeah, and you'll learn more about that later in the show.
So
Mike, I brought two things to the table today before we start. First, we're going to talk about Thunderbolts a little bit later. I went to go see Thunderbolts, and I went to dinner with my girlfriend, Flex.
Wow.
And
damn,
we're in the mall, and we're going through different stores, and we're just looking at things, walking around. She kind of disappears on me and comes back, and she goes, "I bought this for you," and hands me this. Those Ramoon carbonated like soda drinks?
Yes.
Japanese soda
Japanese
drinks.
sodas, yeah.
Did you know there's a Godzilla one?
No, what the hell? That's amazing. What flavor is it? Godzilla breath or something?
It's I think it's blue raspberry.
Oh, makes sense.
Blueberry. It's blueberry.
Wow, that's awesome.
So,
I had no idea. That is amazing, though. I need to get one of those.
I don't know whether to drink it or to just leave it.
You could drink it and then put like blue water in there. Take it from a guy who left a 12-pack of Halo 3 game fuel in his closet because I was saving it for one day, and then when I was in college, it ate through the cans and leaked. Yeah, don't leave it.
This is glass.
Yeah,
though,
that's true. It's glass. You might be.
I'll probably drink it, to be honest with you. And then I wanted to. I feel like we have to chime in on the topic of the day. So, 100 men versus one gorilla. Mike, what do you think?
I had a serious argument with my significant other about this. Not a serious argument, but I was like, I firmly believe if you throw enough bodies at a gorilla, and we got comic book science on our side here, but like, if you throw, I know gorillas are really strong and could like kill you and probably a flick of the wrist, but like if you have 100 people like distracting, even if you get like 5 people grabbing one leg, like you could take a gorilla down. I feel like.
Here's all I know, Mike.
You have to commit though. If there's no commitment, then the gorilla wins.
Here's all I know.
Yeah.
It only takes one flash to take down one Gorilla Grodd.
That's true. We didn't talk about if the Speed Force is involved. Come on. You only need one guy, the Flash.
Dude, this has been on every podcast I've listened to, and I'm so sick of it.
Yeah, Richard.
So, it's...
Okay, let's do this, Chris. How about 100 Gorilla Grods versus one Flash? How many Gorilla Grods would it take to defeat Flash? Because he's always been thwarted by the Flash.
Well,
I guess we're kind of seeing it in this new.
How many Justice Leaguers does it take to take down one Gorilla Grodd?
This new Justice League event right now is like Gorilla Grodd is like the head of the Legion of Doom, which is awesome. I mean, I don't doubt it for a second, but yeah. I do think it's funny that we have the Justice League Unlimited now, so anytime there's a problem, we're like, we need 30 Justice Leaguers. Where we used to get like 2 or 3, and they're like, oh no, 35.
It's funny because both companies do that, where it's like, whether it's Justice League or the Avengers, they go through this process of, let's shrink down the super team.
3 people.
It's these people. Yeah. It's these like 6 to 8 people. That's all it is. And they get a few story arcs and a few years or whatever, and it's no. The Justice, everybody in the DC
Squirrel
universe,
Girl's gotta be in this.
Yeah, or Marvel Avengers, everybody in the Marvel universe, and it's like, all right. I mean, both styles of storytelling have merits. I'm fine with each, but it's just so funny that we keep going back and forth.
I mean, it's fucking hilarious. I mean, I love all of the iterations of the Atom, Chris. I know nobody gives a shit about the Atom, so the fact that there's a book where like all 3 Atoms are in it, and it's called the Atom Project, I love it. Because you don't know which Atom it's referring to in the title. I still don't know. Yeah, it's great.
It's all of them, baby. It's all of them.
We're eating good. Yeah, and speaking of memes and such on the internet, I haven't caught up on The Last of Us. I've kind of stopped at episode 2 when Joel dies, and I might just say that's the end, to be honest. Like, I haven't watched the next episode, but I don't know if you've seen all these memes out there about it. All I know is that, like, at some point, the main character, Ellie, says, like, oh, I'm going to be a dad, which is, like, I don't know what the context of, like, she's with this other girl in a relationship, and I think she might be pregnant or something. I don't know. But I keep seeing this meme everywhere, and so, like, the meme is turned into, like, photoshopped pictures of Kevin James from, like, King of the Hill, like in that meme where he's, like, to the side and they like blended the actress's face with it and stuff. Just like all these dad memes. It's just really funny, and I haven't even watched the episode.
Yeah, I can't comment whether that's game accurate or not because I'm still not.
Yeah,
I've barely played any of it.
Yeah.
But what I keep seeing, and I feel bad for Bella Ramsey.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, she doesn't deserve any of the hate that she's getting.
I feel a little bad for her because it was obviously terrible casting.
Yeah,
like she shouldn't have been Ellie. But I keep getting these memes of her face on like different animated projects, specifically Buzz Lightyear.
Oh, I haven't seen that. Okay.
Oh, it's not flattering, and I do feel pretty bad for her to have to see that on the internet, but that's all I've really seen. And then just the comparisons, like, this is the game compared to the video games. Like, all you're doing is reminding me that Bella Ramsey was terrible casting.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of things are strayed away from properties, but if they did a good job with it,
yeah. I mean, she does an okay job, but yeah.
I mean,
at least the first season, I can't speak to the second.
I mean, honestly, though, I think the problem is when you get rid of. I firmly believe an actor becomes better with their co-star. So, like, you have Pedro Pascal, like, co-show running that, and then when you take him away, everybody's focused on her, and it's like, I didn't realize how much Pedro was really carrying this show.
It's also, I think at the time, Pedro was still, like, popular at the time, but I don't think he was what he is today.
Yeah.
And maybe the show is a part of what he is today, but you took like the actor of the moment, and you killed his character off in the second season.
I can see people are just very upset about that.
Yeah, it's not the smartest of decisions. I mean, it is what the game is, but I could see where people are having a backlash from it, and it's funny to me as HBO watchers that this is what you have fallen on when you all sat through Game of Thrones, where they never gave you a main character ever.
Yeah, right.
Until like season 8, or whatever season it was, when you realized the whole show was about Jon Snow.
I will say, just for fun TV show stuff, as a quick watch, we've been watching on HBO. Abbott Elementary is so funny. It's about a high school. It's like a quick 20-minute show about a high school in Philly. Oh my god, it's really funny.
Because they did some sort of weird crossover with It's Always Sunny.
Oh, they did.
I don't know if it was an internet thing or what, but I remember those two shows were like linked.
Yeah, so Abbott Elementary is like a show about these teachers that teach elementary students in the inner city of Philly, and it's really funny. I think there's like 4 seasons. It's just a fun watch if you ever get the time. There's so much other crap that I want to watch. I don't remember. I don't know.
Yeah, the Abbott Elementary and It's Always Sunny crossover is a 2-part blah 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 crossover event.
Was it on Abbott Elementary?
that was produced for broadcast in 2025.
Oh, shit. So it's new. Oh, man, I can't wait to get to that. Now I gotta watch
Let's see. It aired January 8th, 2025. The second part is set to air July 9th.
Oh, man.
So we've only gotten the Abbott Elementary episode of it, and then the second episode is going to be the new season of It's Always Sunny.
That's crazy. What a... Dude, I gotta catch up now. I didn't know that was a thing. That's amazing.
Dude, it amazes me the things I see like really quick throughout the day when I'm just like messing around. Wait a second. That just like stick in my head.
2 shows I know in Philadelphia, and they both crossed. That's awesome. That's so funny.
I'm planning with a friend. We're planning a pilgrimage to Philly.
Nice.
We're gonna go see a Phillies game, hopefully.
Amazing.
And then stay for a day or two, have some cheesesteaks.
Oh yeah,
that's good times.
Yeah, that's what there's to do. And you could go visit Patty's, the bar.
Yeah, we would definitely. I will try to make sure we visit the site where Patty's Pub is.
But all right, I guess we'll jump into the movie news now, folks. After last week's news about DC Films' Clayface being tracked for a 2026 release, we learned this week that the studio has tapped screenwriter Hossein Amini to rewrite the script for the upcoming Elseworlds horror movie. So interesting. So we originally had Mike Flanagan write it, which I was super excited about. Like super duper excited for this project. And now we have Hossein Amini rewriting it. So I guess it does say Mike Flanagan wrote the previous draft of the script. So hopefully they keep a lot of the stuff that he kept. The film's still going to be produced by Matt Reeves. So I guess we'll see. I don't know. Maybe Mike Flanagan's thing wasn't universal enough for them. But
I have so many questions when it comes to these kinds of articles because I know you were excited about the writer because he did a lot of good horror stuff, right? That was his big claim to fame.
Yeah.
And then this guy's done a lot of big budget action movies.
So maybe he's supposed to take that and
maybe. Yeah. But I do know that like scripts like this go through so many drafts. And even the smallest movie to the biggest Marvel blockbuster goes through like upwards of 13 drafts sometimes. So who knows? Maybe he is just sitting there trying to like hone out some of the things, add a few action beats to make it more commercial, quote unquote, all that. We will see. But it's an interesting turn to get a guy who's really known and successful in horror movies and then bring in a guy who seems to have, and not like, I just had it up. It's not like he has the biggest, blockbuster movies behind him either.
Right. He did Drive.
It was, like Drive was one of his biggest ones. Let's see, Drive, and a lot of them I don't even, Snow White and the Huntsman. Okay. 47 Ronin.
Yeah.
It's not like he has these huge movies behind him, but we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll have to see at the end of the day. Like I can't read into what's.
I just want a Clayface movie.
Yeah, I honestly, the one thing that does concern me here is that you fast track this movie and then you're going to make a big switch like this at the ground floor.
Yeah, for an Elseworlds horror movie.
Yeah.
So we'll see. According to reports, Marvel Studios is eyeing Thunderbolts director Jake Schreier to direct their X-Men debut movie. So I think they like this. This is Marvel locking down a director that they've tested out and are pretty happy with, and I think Thunderbolts is being well received, right? So Marvels tend to do this with directors, like the Russo brothers and stuff like that.
And I'm zoning out his name, but the guy who did the Spider-Man movies was originally supposed to do Fantastic Four at one
Raimi?
point. No, the recent Spider-Man movies.
Yeah. Okay,
yeah. Bringing Raimi in and giving him a few movies. He's even been attached to others. They like to keep people in their factory, if you will.
Yeah, that's true.
And he showed, I'll talk about more in a little bit, but he showed that he can do a good team movie of, disparate characters coming together and fighting as a team. So it makes sense. And it makes sense to keep him in-house. And I get, as people in these Marvel movies, what I think a lot of normies need to make sense of is it's not just that like hey, they're going to get a big paycheck, and they are. But now you're a part of the Disney family.
Mm-hmm.
And remember that Disney still has ties to Miramax, and they have all the Star Wars. They have all of the actual Disney stuff. They have all these properties that when you're part of that family, you can then like move around, do different things with, and really make a successful career of doing good stuff there. So
yeah,
and I get why he wants to stay too. But it's also cool just knowing that there's an X-Men thing that they're seriously talking about. Like that means they're in pre-production on an X-Men movie.
That means we're getting characters in suits and exciting stuff.
Yeah.
Been a long time coming. Marvel Studios announced that actors Lisa Zayas and Sadie Sink are joining the cast of Spider-Man Brand New Day in unannounced roles. Obviously Sadie Sink so hot right now from Stranger Things, right? She's yep. Everybody loves her. And Lisa Zayas, she's from The Bear. So that's another huge character that everybody's loving from The Bear. So yeah.
Her turn to cash in on that big success.
I don't know who Sadie Sink could be playing. Probably just one of his classmates or something. I don't know, like a younger sibling to somebody. I don't think she would be a villain, but maybe. I don't really know enough about Spider-Man villains.
Yeah, you bring her in as somebody.
Gwen Stacy? We don't have a Gwen Stacy in this universe yet, right? I
don't think we do. That was kind of one of the things that came to my mind.
Yeah.
And to anyone that kind of scoffs at that, we have a. Actually, I don't know what today's cultural background is, but not a white redheaded MJ.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's not comic book accurate, right? So
but that is a good question. I don't know. There's so many things, but she fits the age of those characters. There's also the idea of this Lisa Zayas coming in, a Puerto Rican actress.
Yeah.
Miles Morales' mother.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I mean, Miles has that background. His mother is that background.
Okay.
That to me hints pretty heavily that they're doing something along those lines.
That would be cool.
And she's also a teacher, so the Sadie could also be something attached to Miles as well. Like there's a lot that could be happening here. So I'll be interested to see where these two characters go. But they're gonna be quiet about it until they.
Who's the character too from across Into the Spider-Verse that's with Miles? The girl with the hood, the spider character.
Spider-Gwen.
Oh, that is Spider-Gwen? Okay. I could see Sadie playing a Spider-Gwen style character. Yeah, so like if they go with that style.
I don't know if they'll go that route with I think because of how the Sony stuff is attached, that Sony is doing the Spider-Verse stuff and Marvel gets to just play with Spider-Man proper.
I guess we'll wait and see.
I could see her more being attached to something Miles related.
Yeah.
Because I could see them handing the baton to Miles down the line. And this could be them slowly setting it up.
Yeah. All right, Chris, lay it on me. I'm probably gonna end up watching Thunderbolts next week, but the whole big reveal where they peeled the poster off at the opening that it is the new Avengers. That was pretty cool. That surprised that Marvel hid it that long.
I'm just shocked by that. Yeah.
So does this movie say Thunderbolts at all in it?
Oh yeah.
Oh okay.
So full on spoilers on Thunderbolts. That reveal is the ending of the movie.
Oh, okay, wow. Yeah.
So they Red Guardian calls them the Thunderbolts throughout the movie because White Widow's soccer team when she was a little kid was, I forget the full thing, but it was like the so-and-so Thunderbolts.
Okay.
So he calls the team the so-and-so Thunderbolts throughout the movie as a joke. And like Bucky's always pushing back on it, like, we're not being called the Thunderbolts and all this stuff.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the movie. I think it's really good. I think it's one of the best Marvel things in a while. It is. I think the easiest way to explain it is to Force Awakens what Avengers is to New Hope. Like they are trying to remake Avengers in this movie, essentially.
I got it. So Force Awakens to New Hope is this movie to Avengers.
Yes.
Okay, I got you. Yep.
So it's kind of a remake of Avengers, but like with its own little twist on it, where it's all these villains. So you'll see like the moments throughout it where you're like, oh yeah, like Avengers. Even coming down to like, I just have to call her Elaine because I'm a huge Seinfeld fan. But Elaine like buys the Avengers Tower at one point, and they have like a whole scene in the Avengers Tower.
That's funny.
I think my favorite parts in it are the Red Guardian stuff. Like he's the comic relief of the whole movie. Mm-hmm. He's a lot of fun to do it. And what I found interesting throughout it was that they actually did the Sentry. Mm-hmm. And by that I mean they did the Sentry I've seen in comic books.
Awesome.
So this whole movie is an allegory for depression and bipolar disorder, just like Sentry comics are.
That's amazing.
And they do an amazing job of it. And I think what's going to turn off some fans of these style of movies is that the big fight at the end isn't a big fight at the end. It's them pulling this man away from going over the edge of depression. Mm-hmm. Like, and as somebody that's talked about mine throughout my years on this show and everything, it was very heartwarming to see in this movie throughout it.
That's cool. Wow.
I thought it was really great. And like I said, the ending is Elaine bringing the Thunderbolts out in front of a crowd and like tricking them and revealing them as the new Avengers.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And so then you get the post-credit sequence in it. And what I'll say, I want to say in the movie too, one thing I loved, because I absolutely hated Taskmaster in the MCU. And this was a thing that when you watch this, you'll see what I meant by Suicide Squad failed at the Slipknot thing. They kill Taskmaster in the first like 10 minutes of this movie.
Okay.
And at no point do you see that coming. Like, it's not like and I don't mean to slam on Suicide Squad over and over again, but it's not like in Suicide Squad where they had like the little blurbs for every character, but not Slipknot. Right. So like, he's going to die.
Right.
No, they bring them all together. There's this like infighting moment that happens and she just dies and you're like, or gets killed and you're like, what the fuck just happened?
That's crazy.
And for me, I'm like, thank God, because I thought that Taskmaster they set up in, I forget what movie now, was just god awful. Mm-hmm. Okay, so the post credit sequence, which everybody's saying it was directed by the Russo brothers, and it's the new Avengers a year after the events of Thunderbolts, and they're all together. And you've been seeing online where like they've put the copyright on the Avengers on their Twitter account and all these other different things. So that post-credit sequence is Sam Wilson is filing for the copyright for the Avengers so that they can't call them the new Avengers anymore.
Oh, wow.
So you get Red Guardian coming out in a typical like Russian tracksuit. But he's got it all like souped up with like almost like a NASCAR driver with different company logos on the side and everything. And he's like, I've got the solution to it. We'll be the new Avengers with a Z.
That's awesome.
And while that's going on, White Widow notices like something's happening in space. And she's like, we have a problem in space. And they're trying to figure it out.
Fantastic Four is trying to come in. That's what it is.
And the Fantastic Four ship comes
No way. Really?
Yes.
Nice.
So
called it. Yep.
So we got our first glimpse of Fantastic Four. And that this seems like how they're going to start off Doomsday is Fantastic Four coming over. And that's probably going to be what leads Doctor Doom into everything as well.
Sick.
Which makes me think that after Fantastic Four First Steps, we will get our first glimpse of Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom. Somewhere in that movie, if not in the post-credit thing. So
in the trailer. Yeah. That's awesome, dude. That sounds like a great movie.
But recommend. It's a ton of fun. Good action, even though the last fight isn't a huge action sequence. There's still like great action moments throughout the movie. You get to see some characters that are B-list characters in the Marvel universe get their big screen debut, and cool. I thought it was a lot of fun.
Great. Can't wait to watch it. Let's talk comic news. Marvel announced a new Black Cat ongoing series from writer G. Will Wilson, artist Gleb Melenikov. Super Thief, Superhero? Felicia Hart.
That should be Gleb Melnikov.
Oh,
yes,
Bleb.
that's my mistake.
Gleb. Okay.
Yes.
Both Gleb and Bleb could have been the same realistic name to me. Sorry there, Gleb. Super thief superhero. Felicia Hardy is the Black Cat, the world's slyest and most killed super thief. She loves a good score. The longer the odds, the better. But her entire world turned upside down after Spider-Man's battle with Hellgate. You gotta go read Amazing Spider-Man 8 through 9 for that. So Felicia's turning over a new leaf as New York City's newest superhero? ? The first supervillain on our list, the Lizard, but will Black Cat risk it all after do-gooding moral high ground attracts dangerous attention from the lowest of the city's underworld? Easy, kingpin of crime. She's still skimming off the top, honest. Don't miss the winding road, twists and turns, laughs, mind-bending action of Black Cats. Next exciting chapter. So yeah, there's a Black Cat book coming out. Everybody. G. Will Wilson, great writer. This isn't a book for me. I know Chris will definitely be reading it, so let us know how it is.
No, I don't understand why we need a Black Cat ongoing series.
Just like we don't really need if we can't keep a Catwoman ongoing alive, we're not going to have a Black Cat.
Yeah. Amazing cover by Adam Hughes. I'll give that to him.
Adam Hughes' work, always amazing.
Hopefully the two Black Cat fans out there are happy.
I'm sure they are.
I'm sure G. Willow Wilson has had like something she wanted to do with this character for a while. It's because otherwise I don't see how you do a Black Cat book ongoing. It does not make sense to me.
We'll say this though. We are very happy for the Black Cat fans because, all Chris wants in life is a ROM ongoing. So he's just upset that we got a Black Cat book before that.
That is a big part of it, that a fucking Black Cat book got announced before a ROM. Even miniseries. Give me a miniseries.
Right.
Anything, Marvel.
Yeah.
Please. No, it's kind of like a DC, how like anything Batman can get greenlit.
Mm-hmm.
Marvel, anything like tangentially connected to Spider-Man can get greenlit pretty easy. So that's what it is.
Yeah. It's
announced as an ongoing. I'll give it 12 issues before it's canceled. Or is told to wrap up, if you will.
Yep. Marvel announced that the upcoming Thunderbolts ongoing series is being renamed. Wow, like the events of the recent movie Chris just talked about, to the New Avengers. So, yep, New Avengers coming out. Number 1, written by Sam Humphries. Don Lima on the art. Yeah, so there we have the general. We have Black Widow and Winter Soldier. So you have a couple of the Thunderbolts characters there, and then your typical Thunderbolts characters, I should say. But you have Namor in this one, so Chris is really excited for that.
I was already on board because it was going to be a Thunderbolts book,
yeah,
and it's also got Namor in it and the Winter Soldier, so two characters that I absolutely love. I will say, now with the hindsight of knowledge, I understand why they went a different direction with the writing team and everything. Like taking away the Thunderbolts from Jackson Lanzing and Con Kelly. Wanting to reinvent this as the New Avengers to go along with their MCU plans. All makes sense to me now. And I wouldn't say I'm any more excited for the book because it's still the same book at its core. It's still the same team. I'm going to be interested to see how this team comes together.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's cool. I know a lot of people pick on the synergy. I get it. It makes sense. At the end of the day, this is all a money-making operation.
Mm-hmm. And
I kind of like that they were able to hold both of these reveals tight and just announce them at the same time.
Yeah. This one is interesting because I might end up reading this one. DC Comics announced a new series titled Cheetah and Cheshire Rob the Justice League from writer Greg Rucka and artist Nicholas Scott. Yeah, you heard me right. Cheetah and Cheshire Rob the Justice League showcases titular characters Cheetah and Cheshire, surprisingly, meticulously planning and executing a bold heist, robbing the most secure facility in the DC universe, getting away with it. But to accomplish the impossible, Cheetah and Cheshire need to recruit a top-tier crew capable of beating not just the odds, but the Justice League themselves, all without stabbing one another in the back, as they try to acquire the most dangerous devices in the DCU. I will say this: if Greg Rucka wasn't writing this, I would be like, okay. But knowing his tone, like writing for Gotham Central and everything he does, this book is going to be insane. And then you look at the pages that they show with Nicholas Scott's art. It's like, okay, why the hell is this book going so hard? These pages the art looks absolutely amazing. Yeah, I'm in for this book, Chris. Like, what the hell?
Gotham Central's on my list this year. I need to read it this year. It's been way too long. I've never read it, and I know I need to read it. Greg Rucka is a guy who was like part of that class with Bendis and Brubaker making these awesome noir comics while also doing superhero books. Yeah. And they all have taken their own turns throughout that time. But Greg Rucka has a history of these style of books, and to see him bring that to DC, it didn't matter who the two characters were going to rob the Justice League. I'm in for this concept at its core. And do I care about Cheetah or Cheshire? No. At all? No.
We were just talking about cat books don't work, folks. But when you do it like this, it works.
But cool miniseries with an awesome concept. It's going to have like a heist noir feel to it. Dude, of course I'm here for this. I'm going to be, hands down on this. It sounds like a ton of fun. And it sounds like one of those ideas where they're going to do a quick 4 to 6 issue series, tell their story and get in and out. And I'm all here for that.
Yeah. No, it looks awesome. I'm surprised that I'm reading it. I surprised myself.
So on the DC website too, it says that a slick, stylish comic book that guarantees fun, laughs, and more than a few surprises.
Exactly. Yeah. Sold. That's all I needed to hear, Chris. Mad Cave Studios announced a new series called Eat Your Young from writer Brian Buccoletta and artist Mattia Monaco. Edmund Irons, a 2,000-year-old warlord, names his 6-year-old daughter Elsa that might be copyright, I don't know, as the next alpha of his immortal clan, but every 100 years during a 27-day window, known as the Centurium, his children have one chance to rip his heart out and claim the throne. Hell yeah. Or lose immortality forever. Now Edmund's 30 offspring, an iconic cast of genre archetypes like the Cold War spy, serial killer, the vigilante, the punk rocker, the billionaire futurist, turn on their father and each other in a zero-sum battle for eternal life. That's a really crazy concept. It honestly sounds to me, it's Buccoletto doing it. This sounds like such a Mark Millar book to me.
Yes.
This is a total Mark Millar book. But no, this sounds like a crazy concept. It looks like a lot of fun.
The B cover makes it look like a Millar book too.
Yeah, it does. To me. Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. That art,
it's an interesting concept. Obviously, see when it comes out.
I like battle royale books with a cool concept.
Yeah, why not? Sometimes just a cool action book is what I need, so I'm here for that. And Buccoletto, he's earned a little bit of trust based on Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah,
which Volume 2 is coming out here soon.
Hell yeah!
So I'll be here for it. And Mad Cave. I guess disclaimer: we'll probably get a review copy of it. So
we'll be reading it no matter what.
I'll probably be reading it either way.
Yeah. And with that, I think we should talk about what we've been reading, Chris.
Yeah.
We already talked about Gwenpool #1, so it was good.
We both like Gwenpool #1.
It was good. Go buy it if you haven't figured that out. Fantastic Four. I cross out the 4, right 2, number 31. Still reading Ryan North's Fantastic Four book. Since the Thing lost his powers last issue, now Johnny Storm's having issues, so they keep teleporting to different. So clearly, the most convoluted way to fix it is go to alternate universes where they get hit by the cosmic rays and bring the Ben Grimm out there to get hit. Nothing happens. So then they bring him. I think they bring him back in time of their universe. Then he absorbs all the cosmic rays, and then the Fantastic Four crashes, and they don't get their powers. So I think they've messed up. And then all the Fantastic Four start disappearing around him. So I think they've messed up the past, which they shouldn't have done. They talk about that in the beginning of the book. So we'll see what happens. Now there's nobody around.
That leads into the new #1, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So that's where it's all going to start. And it'll probably be Fantastic 1, because if it's just the Thing, because each issue we've been like 4, 3, 2, 1.
Well, I haven't recycled my previews yet, but it is Fantastic Four #1.
Yeah, I know. I mean, like with these issues, they've been crossing out the Fantastic Four on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So maybe they'll do that in the issue somewhere. The question number 6. This wraps up all along the Watchtower storyline. It was all right. She beats Cyborg Superman. Understands why she was put in charge. To question, quote unquote, what's going on. I don't think there'll be another volume. The way they say it is like, yeah, you'll see her in other properties throughout this universe. So really, like, did we need the book? Not really, but I think they're just going to be showing her off in other stuff more. Fantastic Four Fanfare #1. This is the anthology series about the Fantastic Four with a slew of writers. This first 3 stories, there's a Mark Waid story, so that's a lot of fun, folks. Mark Waid's a pretty good writer.
He's okay.
I really enjoyed this. It's a lot of fun. Mark Waid's story was funny. The Thing was getting sentenced to never have a temper or get mad, so like Johnny Storm is like trying to prank him the whole issue. Really funny. The next story is about them fighting like robots, which was fun. The last one is about Johnny Storm's on like a Love Island reality TV show. And Mole Man and Love Island, I don't know if you've ever seen this. I've watched episodes. It's really funny when you've seen that reality TV and this issue. But Mole Man is like hiding in the jungle and like pranking Johnny Storm on reality TV, so he like keeps making a fool of himself on live TV. And so like then Mole Man is like making him look bad, but then this giant monster comes out, and like the way Johnny defeats the monster, Mole Man and him become buddies, and then now they're trying to find Mole Man a date on this reality TV show. It was really funny. It was like they're just a lot of fun. Each story was a lot of fun. If you like the Fantastic Four, check it out. Absolute Superman 7. This is a great issue. This is like the horror issue. It's all about Brainiac. His Brainiac's brutal upbringing, where he comes from a world of Brainiacs where they just poop out a Brainiac, and there you go. Because that's what it looked like. He was like in a dump, right? They like drop these bodies in a dump. Hey, you're the Brainiac we made to literally shovel all the dead Brainiacs. What the fuck?
That's interesting.
What? Yeah, so there's just like thousands of Brainiacs piled up everywhere, and this like collective Oracle Brainiacs is like, okay, you're Brainiac number whatever. Your job is to take the shovel and shovel these Brainiacs into like an incinerator, because they're just clopping. It's insane. They have like higher tiers. So this one, he was like a grunt worker. Basically comes back and kills all the other Brainiacs, and he's like insane now. He takes Peacemaker and turns him into Cyborg in this issue, and sends him straight into Kansas to go after Superman. So this is a wild issue. They're doing some crazy shit in Absolute Superman. I really like this iteration of Brainiac. It's wild. Absolute Green Lantern #2. Great issue. We find out that when Abin Sur showed up, he's still alive. So they're telling this story from like the current and then what happened in the past, like how they got their powers and how Alan Scott got not Alan Scott, I'm sorry, John Stewart not John Stewart. Oh man. Oh my god. The main Green Lantern dude, Hal Jordan. Sorry.
I just had it and I lost it because I was laughing too hard.
Hal Jordan has the black hand. So they keep going back to that instance when Abin Sur first shows up, and Guy Gardner is like the town sheriff. So when Abin Sur shows up, he makes this big portal around the town, and he cuts off one of the police officers' hand, and he's like killing people, and that's like our first introduction to the Green Lantern ring in Abin Sur. So this is way more brutal than your typical Green Lantern book, and we don't know how Hal got the black hand. And by the end of the issue, by the end of the series, we're going to have some sort of, black ring effect where he's going to be raising the dead, maybe, or something. I don't know, but it's a really cool story. So they mentioned Black Hand specifically, like, oh, I have a black hand. It's like, oh shit. So no, really cool stuff. Adam Project #5. This kind of leaves off with the main Justice League book where the Legion of Doom get control of Captain Atom, and this is like leaving off that, we know that they're whatever they call themselves, Inferno or something. So big reveal, Inferno is Legion of Doom. They also get a hold of Captain Atom. They're going to use him for their big plan, I guess. And Ray Palmer Atom has snuck into their base and knows that they have him. So interesting. Captain Planet #1, Chris.
I didn't get around to this one.
Yeah, the David Papose Captain Planet everybody was waiting for. I personally wasn't waiting for it, but I read it. I thought it was a good first issue. I'm not a huge Captain Planet fan. It establishes all the characters. Gaia is like the main avatar of the planet, and then she has to give up all her rings because she was captured, and we meet everybody that gets a ring. They're all really cool characters, I think. They all come from different walks of life, but now they're going to come together to try to help Gaia, who's been captured. Pretty simple. I think the design of Captain Planet's cool. There's some action in it. I'll stay with it. I like Papose. I trust in him, especially the Ghost, Space Ghost is one of my favorite books. Justice Society of America #7. This is my boy Ted Grant's funeral after they killed him in the last issue, you sons of bitches. The Justice League comes in to the JSA saying, you guys, let us take care of it. And they don't like that. They want to help, but there's some tension there. They're like, Ted died, so like you guys aren't doing a great job. Apparently, and there was some quick action between Jesse Quick and Hourman. Apparently, they're dating. They're like, oh, we're not dating anymore, and then they leave, and it's like, okay. I think that was just something like they must have came in and told Jeff Lemire, hey, can you fix this? They're not supposed to be. It's like, okay, whatever. It just seemed weird. I didn't even know they were dating. It just felt like a continuity thing. At the end, we see the Hawkman and Hawkgirl are still trapped in hell, and one of the Ghost members was like leading her to this lair. So we find all the JSA members who have died and are like there to warn them about something. So we get to see a lot of the past JSA members that are dead, even Ted Grant. So he's back already. But all the original like Hourman and stuff like that. So that was a pretty cool reveal. I'm really liking this book. Huge JSA fan. So. Last book I had this week, Chris. Godzilla Heist #3. Great issue. There was a double triple cross in this issue because it's a heist book. Without a double cross, without a triple cross, is it really a heist book? They get the Mecha Godzilla vault. The doctor there who was in the vault like triple crosses them. But the part where they use a Godzilla blast to get into that vault was really awesome. So that was a lot of cool stuff. That's all I read this week. But I also read, I got into the Hellboy Omnibus. So, started on the first, Omnibus. Yeah, so I'm on volume 1. Got about 40 pages in. Really good. It's really great. The art's amazing. I'm still in like the origin stuff, so kind of what I know from the first movie. So I haven't really branched out into the new stuff yet.
All right, so so a few things from a little bit older. I've been catching up on a lot of things, so I'm not gonna go over everything I've been reading this week because some of it's like way old. But Hellhunters #5.
Oh, cool.
Was last week, and conclusion of the Hellhunters book. Basically, in issue 4, the same demon that gives Ghost Rider his powers gave the entire team like special hell powers to fight these other demons that had taken over this Nazi troop. And so it was the big fight between different demon powered people. And at the end of the day, the Ghost Rider of this time comes in and like saves the day by taking over like an old bomber plane and like riding it into like fucking kamikazing it into someone that's a giant demon, and all this awesome action sequence. Great conclusion to it. They leave it as like Ghost Rider is gone or dead, but as we know, he's not because we see him in the present time in Marvel now. And there's also this whole sequence where like one of the generals is just laying into all these guys, being like, you did everything against the book, but like I can't be mad at you because you won at the end of the day and all this stuff. So kind of typical war / superhero book, but just a ton of fun. If you like World War II comics, especially like superhero, like old Captain America World War II comics, it has that flavor with it, with a little bit of like supernatural horror added into it. A lot of fun.
Cool.
Radiant Black, number 33. So one of the villains from the Rogue Sun side of the universe comes to Chicago, and Radiant's fighting him. And the base of the story is he fights him for a little bit, brings him back over to the Radiant Black universe, and they just, or town, because they're in New Orleans while Radiant Black's in Chicago. Brings him back to New Orleans, and just like, this is your problem, take care of it. And it felt like hey, just remember everybody, there's this other comic going on right now that's alongside of ours in the same universe, because it was literally them going over. And if somebody reads both, this issue was kind of lame, because it was them being like, remember, there's 2 Rogue Suns now, and all like, you know, in like mainstream comics when they introduce like, here's Spider-Man, here's his new thing going on, he has 8 arms or whatever. It was that style of issue.
That's lame.
The cool part of the issue was, though, Nathan's mother, he goes over there for Mother's Day in this issue, and he's, you know, he tries to have a breakfast with her and talk with her, and he finds out that she's involved with this air quotes cult that believes that Radiant Black is evil, because during the Catalyst War, we got the 2 books going on at one time, and they were the 2 timelines. People are starting to learn that there was a second timeline where this Radiant Black, like, he did the wrong thing and shit went down wrong. So they think that Radiant Black is the one in the current timeline, and it's causing this whole like behind the scenes cult thing.
Interesting.
Something I've seen in superhero comics before, but it's a fun story plot, so I'll take it.
Cool.
Ultimate Spider-Man 16 is us finding out that this is the origin story of Mysterio, and we find out that Gwen Stacy in this universe is Mysterio. But Mysterio is like a council of people who all share the powers, but only one gets to be the Avatar at a time. And basically, as the events roll out, Gwen's going to be the new Avatar moving forward. So as we see Mysterio pop up, and what she does with that power is going to be her behind it all. And she got to see what happened in the previous issues where Harry, her husband, died, and that Peter Spider-Man was there the whole time. So there was a lot of interesting plot lines that came out of that. And it was the return of Marco Cicchetto at art, which made me happy.
Nice.
Star Wars #1, Mike.
We're back.
I love this issue. You have to be a hardcore Star Wars fan to like this issue. So the New Republic exists now. We're past Return of the Jedi, and they're really trying to set up. It's a lot of trade routes and politics in this issue. They're trying to set up all these trade routes and get all these other different planets on board, but not everybody's on board, because after the Battle of Jakku, and because the New Republic is getting robbed by these space pirates all the time, people are starting to say, like, you can't do what you think you're doing, and are starting to push back on the New Republic and Leia. And basically, this is what's happening here, is somebody's pushing to the point of war. Like, they've told them, we're no longer trading with you, and if you come into our territory starting right now, we will attack you. And it shows like one of the New Republic ships getting blown up and everything. And Luke's side of it is that he discovers that these pirates have access to the old Imperial ships, and he follows one down and tries to like figure out what they're doing. But he finds out basically that there's some sort of fanatics that are willing to like blow themselves up in order to kill New Republic people.
Cool.
So, and then Valiant shows up, and like you get to see all the characters you want to see. That's cool. It's a lot of like politics talk and not a lot of lightsaber talk.
That's all right.
But I liked it. Space Ghost / Johnny Quest, Space Quest #1. The crossover we all wanted.
Is Papose writing that?
No.
Oh, okay.
Joe Casey's writing it. And as I'm reading it, I'll say, if you are a fan of the Space Ghost book and you want more Space Ghost, like, I'm sure this will be good Space Ghost stuff. This reads as a continuation of the Johnny Quest book that Joe Casey was doing.
Good to know.
Because it really does center around the Johnny Quest universe.
Yeah.
They basically find, so they had just come back from the previous story arc. They find the United States government finds a spaceship, and they call upon the Quest family to come check on it. And they're able to get this one piece out of it, and it's a teleporter.
Mm.
And when the Quest kids doing Quest kids shit, they're able to activate the teleporter, and they switch places with the kids from Space Ghost. So now the kids from Space Ghost are with Johnny Quest and his crew, Dr. Quest and his crew, while Johnny Quest and his crew are with Space Ghost. And that's kind of the ending of the book, is like they're in different spots. Really liked it, but yeah, I would warn that it's more of a Johnny Quest book than a Space Ghost book so far in one issue. And then I finished this manga, Little Mega Man.
Nice.
#1. So this is actually the same team that did the Mr. Mega Man book. They're doing both at the same time.
Okay.
Which I find interesting. This is more of a lighthearted, like, jokey book. Rush at one point, like, Dr. Light needs to make Rush 2.0, so he finds a corgi and puts a helmet on him. They take the Mega Man from the old Mega Man 1 cartridge, the original printing, like the shitty overweight guy with a pistol.
Yep.
They make him into a character. He's the American ripoff of Mega Man. And he, like, only speaks in, like, action cliches.
That's awesome.
We get this other group of doctors that went to school with Dr. Light and Dr. Wily that hate Dr. Light because he was, like, a pompous ass back in college. So now they're all trying to take him out. At one point, Dr. Light creates a new robot master. It's Chairman. He's just a recliner that can transform into a robot.
That's amazing.
Stuff like that. So if you're looking for more, like, lighthearted, fun Mega Man stuff, this is it. If you want the more serious kind of what's happening in Mega Man's future, it's Mr. Mega Man. I think at this point, I'm just happy to have a lot of Mega Man content going around. So, but I really liked it.
Awesome.
So, Mike, that was everything I read this week. So where can people find you on the internet?
You can find me at Fortress Ricker on Twitter /X. Where can they find you and or the show?
You can find me on X at Fortress Chris. Also at chriscomicscorner.substack.com. And you can find the show on X or other social media networks at Fortress Pod or at fortresscomicnews.com. If you want to support the show, best ways to do it are 5-star reviews in the podcatchers. So that's Spotify, Apple, iTunes, or whatever. Like, subscribe, share, comment down below on the YouTube version of these videos. And you can also head over to patreon.com/fortresscomics for more. Thank you all so much for watching and or listening this week. We'll see y'all here next week.